What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix land? This once again is Scott Porter back for our fifth and final day of our HeroClix unboxing series for the brand new Marvel HeroClix set, 10 of Swords, based on the story of the same name in Marvel Comics, engineered by Jonathan Hickman and the rest of the fantastic writers of the Dawn of X line. It is the first major Marvel mutant crossover since, Dawn of X and Powers of 10 are not a crossover. This is a crossover. And when I'm talking about like Executioner's Song or Phalanx Covenant or, Inferno, these old, Fall of Mutants, these old mutant crossovers, we used to have a lot of them. Dawn of X and, Powers of X and, Powers of 10 and, golly, why do they gotta be so confusing with all this stuff? House of X and Powers of 10 were all Hickman, right? He wrote all of that. That's his story, right? And then it spilled out into a bunch of different titles in the Dawn of X. And you had a bunch of really cool stuff. The Marauders, like this, search and rescue team for mutants all over the world. You had X Factor, which came a little bit later, but investigations of crimes within mutants, with mutant on mutant stuff. You had X-Force, which is basically the CIA of Krakoa. You have the X-Men book, which is a big exploration of just mutants in general, but kind of loosely based around the Summers family and all that stuff. You have Excalibur with Apocalypse and Captain Britain, and really this quest to find where they belong, or be reunited, or go home. There's something missing with a lot of the members of that team. And then, it just goes on and on. The New Mutants. We're talking the older New Mutants who are now finding their place as teachers, and the younger New Mutants who are students and who are trying to find their place in this crazy new Krakoan age. And then you have 10 of Swords. And it is a massive crossover. You've got Hellions, you've got X-Force, you've got X-Factor, you've got X-Men, you've got Excalibur, which is really the backbone of the entire event for the most part. It touches all the corners of the mutant, future. And what spins out of 10 of Swords is Reign of X, which leads into the Hellfire Club, the Planet-Size X-Men, all of those things. And this is really the fulcrum. It's really in the middle, and it pivots the entire mutant trajectory. It resets a lot of things. What happens for Apocalypse after this? What happens for Cyclops and the X-Men and Jean after this? What happens with Cable and the creation of Sword, with Abigail Brand coming back into the fold and the mutants going to space? It resets the Quiet Council, because you have Quiet Council members that disappear. They no longer hold spots. It resets what Storm wants to be and where she wants to be and how she wants to lead. It resets all of Otherworld. It resets the Captain Britain Corps. It brings them back and puts Saturnine back in a seat of power where she has protectors. But this time, they're not all Brian Braddock, the love of her life. They are now led by Betsy Braddock, and there are some anomalies out there which she would always try to stamp out in the past, and that must drive her nuts now. It resets each of the fair and foul kingdoms of Otherworld and makes it a really interesting place to play. We haven't had Otherworld be a focus point of Marvel storytelling for a long time, and now it is. Excalibur started out a little scattershot with the writing that we had, but now that book is so cool, or what came out of the other side of 10 of Swords was so cool. You have Jamie Braddock in A Seat of Power and Avalon. I mean, there are so many characters that are touched by what happens here. And then, of course, what changes for Krakoa as Arakko returns to Krakoa's side. These two lovers, really, these two halves of a whole, Krakoa and Arakko. And you get to see them both in like full-on Ent form. When I love when Krakoa does that, goes full Ent. You get to see the same thing with Arakko in the future. So 10 of Swords is a wide event, and this set is covering a wide swath of the mutant population that we have in Marvel Comics. So it has not disappointed. I hope you guys are super excited. What I hope to see today really is just more. That's all. I just want different characters. I want to see more. I would love to see another sword. We've seen a lot of tarot cards. I want to see more of the swords. We've only gotten 2 of them. We've gotten Seducer And we've gotten one of the Miramasa blades, which belongs to Wolverine, who gets another reset in this thing with a new enemy in Solemn. And so, man, I just want to see more. There's so much more story left to see in this booster brick set, but also the OP set that's coming up. So really, anything. I just want to see more. That's it. I hope you guys do too. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Oh man, what an exciting 4 days. And I hope today is just as exciting. Let's see here. We have, oh, we got some bubble wrap. That's always a good sign. Oh, what do we have? We have, oh yeah, all right. Okay, we have another sword bearer. We do. That's awesome. And another tarot card. So we have a tarot and a sword in this. And I think that's 6 tarot cards we've seen. 5 or 6, and this is our 3rd sword. So the equipment is pretty readily available. Tarot cards are everywhere. I seem to we have pulled a lot of them actually. So that's pretty cool. They're readily available. I know that with a new game mechanic and a new piece like this, we get a little scared as HeroClix players. We're like, what's the collation going to be? How many am I going to be able to get my hands on? And it looks like there's like 6 in this brick and 3 swords. So I'm pretty happy with that. This booster has some figures we've already seen, like Colossus. I want to make sure he's the same rarity. Yes, he is. A common Colossus, which we have seen. We have an Orcus Soldier, which I will always take more generics. I know you guys will too. We have Sync, who I did talk about on one of the other days. And again, this is day 5. If you're starting on day 5, you're in the wrong place. Press pause or go find day 1 and watch all the way up here, and we will be waiting for you. This is Sync, though. And the other new piece that we have is Iska the Unbeaten. Very, very cool. There is a sword on her back, but we also pulled a sword in the pack. Oh, that rhymed. Look at me. We pulled her sword, Mercy. So those are the 3 new pieces that we got. The other piece that we got was Tarot, who we've already pulled. We've seen some of the older Hellions at least filling out that team or bringing them back into the fold, which, you know, we haven't seen any of these characters in a long time. I think we only saw Tarot once in those original Hellions, kind of in, I think it was Giant Size X or Uncanny X. It's one of the 2 of those. There's so many X sets that I get them mixed up sometimes. But yeah, so good to see Tarot still holding out hope that we get Empath. And maybe if not in this set, maybe in the actual OP event set. That would be really, really cool. Okay, let's pull them back and let's take a look at Sync first. Now, I talked about Sync earlier. Sync is really cool. Sync came around, gosh, was it Phalanx Covenant? Was that what it was called? It was a big crossover event like this. And in that event, we met some new mutants. Sync was one of them. Blink was one of them as well. And it's where, you know, the Phalanx, the techno-organic race that is going to eventually end all of humanity and sentient life, you know, space-wide, you know, was coming to Earth, and we had to fend them off. And Sync was one of the characters that was created for that. He then went on to have a really cool run in Generation X with Sabretooth and White Queen leading these new students and these mutants, and eventually perished very heroically. Yeah, let's take a look at Sync's card here. He's got Generation X, Sword, and X-Men. He's set number 19. Everett has 2 traits, always adapting and always evolving. Always adapting, phasing teleport. Once per turn, when another friendly character within range heals, after resolution, heal Sync, 1 click. Always evolving is free. Choose a friendly standard character within range and line of fire, and 2 displayed standard powers that character can use. This turn, Sync can use the chosen powers. That is really cool. Copied from Sunfire, working with Polaris, Grit. Look at the back there. He's got a pretty long dial, actually, and it's steady. It's really, really steady. And the cool thing about Sync is, so there was a threat to the school when Sync perished. I think there was like bombs set around the Generation X campus, and Sabretooth went one way and Sync went the other. Yes, Sabretooth, the one that's locked away in the nowhere place on Krakoa in some cell, and we haven't seen Sabretooth since. And he was locked there because they didn't think they could control him. Sabretooth was actually a good guy at one point. And Generation X is a really cool book, actually. But Sabretooth was a good guy, and he goes one way to kind of save some students and get rid of this bomb, and Sync ends up going the other way. And I think what he does is, I don't know if Colossus is there, but there was somebody who had super strength, I think, and he syncs with them, and he throws the bomb. And I think he gets it away from the students, but I think he doesn't get it far enough, and I think he falls in the blast. It's either that or he jumps on top of it, and he died. And Sync was never brought back until Krakoa. Now, the cool thing about it is after the events of Ten of Swords, Cyclops and Jean Grey decide Krakoa needs X-Men. I know we're not saying the word X-Men. We're just all mutants here. We're all equal. But even mutants need someone to look up to. And they hold an election. And mutants are elected to the X-Men. It's not like Cyclops is like, yeah, so here's the deal. We need X-Men. So I want Iceman. I want Nightcrawler. I want, he doesn't handpick them. It's not this elitist thing. It's like this very public thing. And Marvel also allowed like the fan base to pick an X-Man. I think it ended up being Polaris. I can't remember. But Sync was chosen to be a part of that team, was Sunfire and Polaris. I mean, and it's really cool. So the way that he works in the X-Men now is really, really cool. He's also super powerful now compared to what he used to be. When he was resurrected, his powers came back at like 4 times as powerful. And then he went into the vault with Laura Kinney, with X-23, and Darwin. And when he came out, his powers had evolved even further because he was in this temporal state where time was moving much faster than it does here on Earth. And he evolved a bit. And he leveled up, for sure. And then he fell in love with Laura Kinney. And when they came out, Laura ends up actually dying and having to be resurrected. And when she does, she's resurrected without the memories that she had inside the vault, which is heartbreaking for Sync. But he's an awesome character. And I'd love to see him getting the spotlight like he did. And I think that Dial is really, really cool. I like Sync a whole lot. Okay, our next one is an Iraqian sword bearer. Now, we haven't seen many of them. We saw Bay. We haven't seen Pog Your Pog, which Pog Your Pog is like one of the funniest, craziest, weirdest little characters. It's this giant 6-armed alligator sellsword who fights as a sword for Arakko. And he has a little guy inside of him that controls the thing. He lives in Pod Your Pog, and he's really, really funny. We haven't seen him. We saw War, and we saw Death in the miniatures game, but we haven't seen them in the set. We saw Solemn. We saw Summoner in the miniatures game, but haven't seen him in the set. We haven't seen Whiteblade. Whiteblade is on the back of the box. Probably a chase. And I got to tell the story of Whiteblade before this video is done. We haven't seen Annihilation, who is Genesis, who is a sword bearer. We haven't seen Iska until this moment, which I'm very, very excited about. And then we saw Bay. And the last one that we haven't seen is Redroot, the Forest, who is the Iraqian version of Cypher. And the fact that Redroot, the Forest, can talk to Arakko, the sentient island of Arakko, but nobody else can understand Arakko. So Redroot is very, very important. So I want to see Redroot really badly, actually. Redroot is very, very cool character design, super cool looking character, and an awesome character in her own right. But she's currently trapped in a jar in the Crooked Market by Mad Jim Jaspers. So, anyway, okay, Iska. For the first time, we're seeing her, and she is set number 31A. Oh, yes. Okay, awesome. That's awesome. I think what's going to happen here, okay, this is cool. Okay, Iska the Unbeaten. Arakko, martial artist and warrior. She has sword bearer, 5 points. This character starts the game with any sword equipment equipped. She has a trait, I cannot lose. The first time Iska the Unbeaten would be KO'd, instead turn her to her last non-KO click, then roll a d6 and heal her equal to half the result, protected pulse wave, and I'll show you Iska up close. So Iska changes sides when it is time, because she cannot lose. She cannot possibly lose. So her mutant power actually forces her to change sides. We'll take a look at the back of the card here. So I'm thinking maybe she has a prime. When she uses her power, she turns like gold. She like glows, and it signifies that your side is now going to win. And I wonder if her other one flips sides. I thought maybe she might have a different dial on that second click, but now it seems like she's actually just going to have a straight up prime. And I can imagine that it's going to be in that moment when she changes sides. Mercy here is the blade. Once per turn, when this character is attacked, you may re-roll the attack. Oh, everybody's going to use this sword. Gives you probability control when you're getting attacked. She gets to equip it for 5 points. There you go with her dial. I can't wait to see what the prime is. Oh, dude. What is the prime going to do? That's awesome. Iska the Unbeaten and Mercy. Okay, folks, it is down to this. I'm hoping we pull a chase. I'm hoping we pull a guy in the back of the box. Because his story is awesome, and I want to see how they make it work in HeroClix. I think I told you that the White Blade was a healer on Araco and a resurrector of their own. And it's very cool how we have these similarities between Krakoa and Araco. Krakoa, as Iska the Unbeaten says, after she comes to Earth after the events of Ten of Swords, she tells Magneto and Professor X, how have you not killed every human here in this soft world? You are a child government acting like children. Grow up, eliminate the enemy, and secure your survival. Because that's all she knows, right? Well, the reason she acts like that is because when Araco was pulled into Amenth and then closed the portal behind them, they had to battle day and night against the demon hordes of Amenth and all these other unspeakable evils of Amenth. Amenth is basically Earth in the upside down, right? It's just a hellish version of Earth from what I can tell. And you have natives of Amenth like Tarn, the Uncaring, or like Pog your Pog. But they battled these demon hordes of annihilation, who was the main bad on that planet for forever. But the White Blade was the vanguard of that attack, kind of, to start. And then one day he just vanished. He would go out and push further into the demon hordes, and they thought he died. They thought he disappeared. But what he did was build this white chapel that him and his 100 sleep in every night. He has 100 undead soldiers, or dead soldiers that he raises, and then they die again every day, and he resurrects them, and then they go out and battle the next day. He's awesome. In the book, Saturnine has really heavily weighed the competition against Krakoa. She wants them to lose, is what it appears. She wants them to lose badly. She wants it to seem hopeless for the mutants of Krakoa. And it does get to that point. And Cable ends up calling home and getting Jean and Scott into action and bringing help to this battle. And I think Saturnine saw all this coming. She knew that it had to seem hopeless for Krakoa so that Cable would put out this clarion call. After he puts out this clarion call, she comes up and she says, I think I'm going to end this transmission now. So it seemed to me like Saturnine allowed Cable to telepathically talk to his mother where he shouldn't have been able to, across, out of Otherworld into Earth. Shouldn't be able to happen. But after that happens, the next competition, where the numbers were hopeless, she tasks Gorgon with fighting to the death against the White Blade. The White Blade says, okay, let's see what you got. And he sits back on his chair and he sends out, you fight Soldier 1. And Gorgon kills him. He's like, now 2 and 3. Gorgon kills them both. Now 4, 5, and 6. They rip Gorgon's mask off and he turns them to stone. And then he's like 7, 8, 9, and 10. And eventually they kill Gorgon. But not before he kills like 17 or whatever number of the White Blade's army. and Saturnine decides to score each one of them as a kill. That ties them up. It's just such a cool moment in the story. But then the White Blade walks up and he goes, I'm going to kill you now and you're going to rise as my 101. And Gorgon says, no, I will never serve anybody, not in life and not in death. And White Blade kills him. And Gorgon, in that moment, falls to his knees and he dies. And then Apocalypse looks at the rest of the members of Krakoa. And remember, if you die in Otherworld, it's a true death. When Gorgon gets resurrected on Earth, he will no longer be the Gorgon that we have known for all these years in Marvel Comics. He will be something new. He will be something pulled from the Omniverse, and they don't know what it will be. And, who knows, man? So he dies, and he dies willingly, and Apocalypse turns to the rest of them and says, that is how a mutant falls. And it lands on all of the rest of these sword bearers in various ways. But it's such a cool moment. And so I want to see how they do White Blade in these 100 blades. Like, how are they going to do that? That's awesome. So that's what I'm hoping is in here. Who knows? Before we do, we did pull a tarot card in that last pack. I got to show you guys. It's Dupe. I don't know why Dupe is on the Ten of Wands, but he is. The first time each turn Perplex is used, the chosen combat value is modified by +2 or -2 instead of +1 or -1. Man, another cool card. I mean, they're not in and of themselves necessarily game-breaking, but can be very game-changing. If you pull at the right turn, and you've been waiting for this one card to pop, but it's going to be very difficult to pull off. So I'm really interested to see how you guys, the players out there, who surprise me all the time, are able to figure all this out. All right, everybody out there, start typing in the comments. Chase luck, chase luck, chase luck. All right, you got it going? I know I will have already pulled this by the time, but let's see. Oh no. We got a tarot card. Another one. Oh, and we do have a chase. Yes, we do. It is not the White Blade, like I was hoping for, but it is the Omniversal Magistrix, or Magistrix? I don't know. Whatever. Saturnine herself. Wow. I'm actually surprised, since she's a chase, that she wasn't on the back of the box, because, I mean, you would expect, right? Ten of Swords, like, but she's not a super rare. I was banking on her being a super rare. She's an actual chase. We have Darwin. We have a Sebastian Shaw Danger Room construct, which we've seen. We didn't get to see Juggernaut or Apocalypse in construct form. But then we have pulled Lockheed, and we have pulled Roulette. So we've already seen Roulette. We've already seen Lockheed. I'll put him over here. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to look at the sculpt for Saturnine. That's fine. We'll look at the sculpt. Yeah, she looks pretty great. She's got that glowing gold around her. We also pulled Darwin, the last of our away team that went into the vault. She's got a unique ring on them there. Okay. We're going to pull them back. I think what we're going to do is we're going to look at Darwin, and then I'm going to share with you what the legacy cards for this set are. We'll open our legacy card. I'll share with you what the legacy cards are for this set, and then we'll look at Saturnine, and then we'll be done. Which I'm just very sad that this whole thing is coming to an end. But man, what a pull. I thought she might be a super rare. She's a chase. That's crazy. Let's look at Darwin. Darwin, unfortunately, in that Children of the Vault storyline, he perishes. Darwin is dead, and he dies in the vault. And at the time when they return, they don't know if they can bring Darwin back. Now, the Children of the Vault have just become much stronger, because the reason they took him, remember, they're genetically created. They're created by a scientist, this Homo novissima, and they start looking into a way to splice Darwin's survivability into their own genes, which would make this next race of Earth conquerors incredibly powerful. His X Factor and X-Men. He has hyper evolution. Darwin has safeguard outwit. Once per turn, when Darwin is targeted by an attack, you may choose a color of a standard power displayed on the attacker's dial. If you do, Darwin can use all standard powers of the chosen color until the end of your next turn protected pulse wave. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. So safeguard outwit, so you can't outwit anything. But he also can look at your dial and take any power and take that color and then apply it to himself all the way. So, well, you've got red on there. He can grab Range Combat Expert, Blades, Claws, Flings, Flurry, and Super Senses all at once, all in one fell swoop. That's really, really cool. He is unique, but yeah, well done. So we got the whole, X-23 Sync, Darwin, Children of the Vault away team thing in our brick, which I didn't expect. So the sub-themes here, we've got Sword as a sub-theme, which is really cool. I'm going to bank that we get Abigail Brand in this set for sure. I don't know who else, though. Maybe Frenzy. Frenzy would be cool. Man, I would love to see Random again. Random from back in Peter David's X Factor run. Such a cool character. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of different Manifold. Any of the teleporters. I mean, Amelia Vaught, Fabian Cortez. So a couple of the Acolytes are up there. So who knows? That could be very cool. Okay, we got 6 of Pentacles here. Take a look at the 6 of Pentacles. Yep. Sync is on there with Laura Kinney as well. When a character uses mind control, after resolutions, they may deal their printed damage value divided between all hit targets. So you do mind control and damage at the same time. That's pretty great. 6 of Pentacles. Okay. And that's the cool thing about the tarot cards, too, is each of them affect a different thing. So Pentacles is movement, Swords, attack, all that stuff. So each of the suits do one of the base kind of stats on a HeroClix dial. All right, let's move into unveiling the legacy cards. Yes, I brought a lot of figures from home. I unfortunately am missing one. I'm missing one. I don't know how I'm missing it. It is Unis the Untouchable from Mutations and Monsters. So Unis the Untouchable from, I just opened this without showing you guys I opened it, is going to be one of 12 legacy cards. There are going to be 12 legacy cards in this set. So buckle up, guys. Okay, the first one we're going to look at is Veteran Magneto from way back when, Infinity Challenge. Remember when they wouldn't fit to their flight bases? But yeah, that's a flight base. For anybody who has never played and didn't play HeroClix back in the day, yeah, that is a flight base. You used to be able to soar. If you would lift this little knob up, you would go from flying to soaring, and you would be a space above the map. A very, very interesting game mechanic. So the first one, Veteran Magneto from Infinity Challenge. The second one of my all-time favorite figures. I use this guy to win pre-releases, to place at Worlds. Veteran Havoc. Remember the 44-point dials and how powerful they were back in the day for anybody who played back in the day? Veteran Havoc from Mutant Mayhem. The next one we're going to bring in is Unique Forge. Unique Forge from Sinister in 2006. Okay? The next one we're going to bring in is going to be Leech. Now, Leech is going to get a special little shout out from me here in a moment, but for now I'm just going to place him on the board. Okay. The next card, the next guy that we have is Warlock. Warlock, the super rare from Wolverine and the X-Men. I've always loved that sculpt so much. This sculpt is awesome. Good to see that we're going to get that back. Now we have Banshee from Deadpool. I know Banshee gave people nightmares for a little while. This is Banshee from Deadpool. We have Fabian Cortez from the X-Men and the animated the animated series, the Dark Phoenix set. Then we have one of the most gorgeous sculpts ever. We have Iceman from the Uncanny X-Men set. That Iceman is insane. Insane. Is beautiful, and I'm so glad that that we get to see it again here. So those are just what, 9 of the ones that I need you to see. I don't know if the next guy is going to fit though. So we might actually have to bring the camera angle back to me because yeah, think of these guys as well as Unis the Untouchable from Monsters and Mutations. That gives us what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now we need, oh, this guy and this guy. That's right. Apocalypse. This Apocalypse where he's holding Cyclops and holding Jean Grey, as well as the Sentinel Mark II, both from, I think that's Giant Size X-Men. Let me double check here. Yes, I am looking at something to help because my brain is so full of information. Yeah, we have actually these two, and I lied. I said I couldn't find Unis, but I also couldn't find my Sentinel Mark V. You know, the blue one with the ice ray is going to be your 12th legacy card figure. So there you have it, guys. So you can go out and start finding these a couple months before the set releases. So you can make sure that you guys have all of the characters that are necessary for the legacy cards. The legacy card I pulled is Banshee. But I want to give Leech a quick shout out. So this is it. This is all of them. I don't know if we have that mid-range shot, Knox, if we got it. We can get just a little closer. Yeah, you can see that Apocalypse is so cool. That Sentinel is freezing Wolverine, actually. And this Apocalypse is holding Jean and Cyclops. They're reaching out to each other. Such a cool sculpt, as well as these others. So those are your legacy cards. But I wanted to talk about Leech, like I said, for just a quick second. And then we'll move on and take a look at Saturnine. This Leech, actually, was designed by one of our own players. Adam Friedman designed the Leech card, and it has been posted online. I talked about it as we were leading up to the HeroClix for Huntington's event that happened this past May. Last year in May, we ran our inaugural HeroClix for Huntington's event. And in that event, people get to compete to make themselves into a bystander token, to create a legacy card, or to make themselves into a SwitchClix figure, which is one of the prizes that we have as well, where you get a sculpt made of you that you could put on any SwitchClix base, and you become basically HeroClix tournament legal. As long as the base is legal, you're legal. But you can definitely play yourself on somebody's base in a casual game, and it's pretty darn cool. However, Adam Friedman chose to make this Leech, and this Leech is he's a nasty little bugger. Does something along the lines of taking all of your powers away. So you should go look that up online. It has been published already. So congrats, though, to Adam Friedman for winning that prize. And he wanted to do Leech. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He got it done. But big ups to Adam for competing and helping raise money for a great event, while also winning a prize that now we're showing off on one of my unboxing series, which is mind-blowing to me a little bit. It's pretty cool. Okay. We got the card, and man, this is so hard to see. It's so hard to see these cards. I'll see if I can't show you Banshee's legacy card. You might be able to read that. It's going to get a little loud. Opposing characters within 6 squares and line of fire can't use super senses and can't reduce damage by more than 1. Sonic Scream, Pulse Wave. When Banshee uses it, he deals his printed damage value instead of 1. So it used to be that the only way you could deal your printed damage value with Pulse Wave would do a single target Pulse Wave. That is now gone. And he's the only way around it now. Pulse Wave on that second click and third click and fourth click, I suppose, dealing 3 damage Pulse Wave. Now he's got a 10 attack or a 9 attack or a 10 attack, so you're going to have to boost him up a little bit, but Legacy card is still pretty darn cool. So go find that Banshee and put him to good use. So there you go. Your Legacy cards. We've opened up an extra pack of tarot cards. We've opened up the miniatures game. We've opened up the Dyson Tokens pack, the Play at Home kit. We have reached the end. And now the time has come. The final curtain. Okay, Saturnine. Let's take a look at her card. She's the chase that we pulled. Set number 61. We'll take a look at her sculpt real quick. I like how the magic is like emanating out from her and her robe is behind it. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that sculpt a lot. Saturnine has Excalibur, Cosmic, Mystical, and Ruler. Real name? Opaluna Saturnine. She has a trait. The card is drawn, the core reborn. Free. Generate a Captain Britain core bystander in a square within 6 squares and line of fire, max of 3. Oh, that's right. We pulled. Oh, this is where it comes from. Okay. We pulled this, right? Captain Britain core out of our Dyson token pack. So you can generate a Captain Britain core bystander in a square within 6 squares, it says, and line of fire for a max of 3. Another trait. Long may she reign. Mastermind. When Saturnine uses it, she may instead choose a friendly character with Captain Britain in their name within 6 squares. Okay. She also has Dragonfire, Penetrating Psychic Blast. Range. Choose an opposing character within range and along a direct line of fire. Make a ranged attack targeting that character and all other characters occupying squares along that line of fire. Instead of normal damage, each hit character is dealt Saturnine's printed damage value. And then she has a special damage power Omniversal Magistrix? Leadership and Perplex. Once per turn, you may re-roll a die rolled by a character within range, including 1 die of an attack roll. Once per turn, you may re-roll a die rolled by a character within range. Does not say line of fire on that. Let's look at the stats here and see what we're dealing with. Not too crazy. She is cosmic energy. She is mystical. 6 clicks long. Huge attack values. She's got that special power for the vertical or horizontal or diagonal line of fire and dealing her printed damage along the whole row for 4 out of her 6 clicks. She can mastermind to anywhere, and the Captain Britain core she can have on the board all over the place, so you're going to have to be doing big damage to her to whittle her down. And that's after you punch through Invincible up at the front of her die. You can't outwit anything. She's pretty good. I love that she can be spawning these guys anywhere that she wants to within range and line of fire. They're immediate tie-up pieces, and you got to deal with them. They've all got blades. They can all do big damage, and they can all charge. Yeah. Now, that Dragonfire is really cool, because Dragonfire, that's not her own. That dragon, or the Dragonfire, comes from Shogo. Shogo is Jubilee's son, who for some reason or another, when they enter Otherworld, turns into a giant dragon. And she has Shogo in her tower for a good part of the event. And she uses Shogo towards the end to go and do some battle on her own, as well as Jubilee when she comes in with the green priestesses. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a really cool nod. So there you go. That's the chase that we pulled, and that is everything from the Ten of Swords set. I am stoked, not only for this, but also I just feel like a lot of the actual event goodness is also pushed into the organized play event. That's just what I think at this point. I think we got a lot of really cool stuff in here that I wasn't expecting, and it's a good thing. I'm very surprised, but I'm also now realizing that if I would have pulled a bunch of stuff from Ten of Swords in the brick, and then I would have pulled a bunch of stuff from Ten of Swords in month 1, and pulled more stuff from Ten of Swords in month 2, and pulled even more stuff from in month 3, that it might have been a little too much Ten of Swords. But this is just the right amount to whet my appetite to get me ready to play the organized play event. So I think bravo WizKids on that. The super rares we pulled, I was kind of surprised. Bay was one of them. The Chase being Saturnine, that surprised me. But Deadpool and X-23, I did not expect at all. So I'm sure that there are more surprises in store. And usually I take this part of the unboxing series to say, here's what I hope is still in the set, or here's what I hope to see next. At this point, Hellions, some more Hellions, Nanny and Orphan Maker, which are a lot of fun, or Grey Crow. Mr. Sinister, the way that he acts within his role with the Quiet Council, and helping with the 5 in Resurrection. I'd say a couple of different members of Sword, maybe, but even then, like, I feel like we got such a good variety of characters here. I'm really, really excited. I'm very impressed with the set selection. And I gotta say, we got 6 tarot cards. We had 5, and then we got to the one that we got in Saturnine's pack. We got 6 tarot cards, and we got 3 swords. I don't know if that's going to be in every brick, but if it is, that's pretty solid. Bang for your buck in the set is pretty good to me. I think it's a response to, prices go up on everything, and I know prices, go up, but I think the response is we want to give them more things, at least, if that's going to be the case, and I like it. I'm not sure how tarot cards are going to affect gameplay. I'm really not. I've got a ton of them here. I think some of them are very impactful. I think some of them are super situational. But overall, I think they're all very interesting. And I'm excited to play with them and see how a match goes with 5 or, 8 of them in play. Man, look at all these tarot cards. Again, everything that we pulled this week is all going to Ryan Redman, who won the HeroClix unboxing pulls blind on an auction that we did to raise money for the Huntington's Disease Society of America. So again, Ryan, everything I have here is all yours, brother. All these tarot cards, all these pieces, and it's all going to you, and as well as a huge thank you for being so generous. A huge thank you to everybody else who took part in the HeroClix for Huntington's event. Again, everybody out there, that'll happen every May. May is Huntington's Disease Awareness Month. I know it's just ending, and it's a really important thing to me and my family. If you don't know, my mother-in-law has Huntington's disease. My wife has the Huntington's gene and eventually will be affected by this disease unless we can find a cure. So raising money for a great cause and playing a game that we all love cannot be done without the generosity of people watching, of people playing, of people showing up for the tournament, and of people bidding and winning things like Ryan did. So a huge thank you to everybody that came to HeroClix for Huntington's, that took part in it, whether it was in person or virtual in our Battle Royals. Keep an eye out for more news about next year's event coming to you later this year. Later this year, though, we will also be getting a ton more Ten of Swords. I'm so excited. I got to say thank you to WizKids for sending me this brick to share with you guys early. I got to say thank you, like always, to Hyper RPG Studios, who so graciously host us every single unboxing series. Knocks back on the board. Big round of applause. Thank you so much, my brother. Got to say thank you to you guys. It is not an empty thank you. You guys watch. We hash it out in the comments. We talk a bunch. We chat. And we're just excited together. And the positivity generated from these videos, I feel really is great for the community. And that doesn't exist without you all out there showing how excited you are. Hit that like button. Subscribe to WizKids for more cool content that's coming out. And comment down below what your favorite thing I pulled was and what you're most hopeful for going into the organized play event. So what's your favorite thing I pulled, and what are you most hopeful for going forward into the actual organized play? What happens beyond this? But thank you guys. You watching allows me to keep on doing this, and then I keep on getting to show you cool stuff, and it's just this lovely circle of HeroClix goodness. Last but not least, I gotta say, be good to each other out there, everybody. It was so awesome to play in person recently and get back into the stores and start playing more often, get back into my venue. And I think we just need each other. You know, this community's awesome. Be good to each other. Keep on having fun out there. Stay positive, and I'll see you in the next unboxing series. And until I do, oh, I got to do it again. The set comes out July 27th for pre-release, and then comes out officially for purchase August the 3rd. The months thereafter, around August 23rd, September 23rd, October 23rd, somewhere in that range, you will have the month-by-month organized play event for Ten of Swords. Call your local gaming stores, call your local comic shops, take care of them like they always take care of you. And I can't wait to see you out there on the battlefield. And until I do, here we go. May all your rolls be critical hits. Peace.